Brainiacs, it's that time of year, your annual family reunion. That's right, you put on your best shirt, run a comb through your hair, and you're prepared to answer the inevitable prying questions related to your personal life from your grandma. And while you expect to see some familiar faces, you notice that Uncle Charlie is nowhere to be seen. After what seems like a never-ending conversation with your aunt about her son's fancy new firm, she finally tells you that Uncle Charlie got locked up for some minor charges. No big deal. You're furious. He's the only family member you actually enjoyed seeing at these things. Enough is enough. You decide you're taking matters into your own hands. You're getting good old Charlie out of jail, but you don't plan on exactly waltzing through the front door. While many of us may do everything we can to stay out of the can, there are those, like yourself, who insist on getting in the inside. Today, Brainiacs, we discuss some reasons why others absolutely need to break in, the repercussions, and most importantly, how they do it. And by the end of this video, we can let you decide if you're willing to risk it all to free up your jailbird from his cage. So, you're eager to see your Uncle Charlie on the inside. You're not the first. Sometimes short and staggering visitation hours just don't cut it, and it's natural to want more face-to-face time. Shiri Vlasenko, the lawyer for a former Ukrainian prime minister, broke into prison by crawling under the fence to see his client. Vlasenko claimed that he was forced to go to such lengths because the prison authorities were preventing him from meeting his client. Now that's taking your job seriously. But while this lawyer felt like he had a professional duty to see his client, others break into the can simply to reconnect with old friends. Take Patrick Rempe, who was arrested for ramming his car into the front door of the Indian River County Jail in Florida and then tried to climb the fence. Talk about a show-stopping entrance. When caught, he told authorities that he was high on the synthetic drug Flakka and just wanted to catch up with some old pals in jail. Rempe was held without bond, which gave him plenty of time to connect with old friends on the inside. Another reason why someone may want to break into a prison is because the outside world is not all dandelions and rainbows for an ex-con. In fact, some newly released prisoners report that life on the outside of orange jumpsuits proves challenging. When re-entering and readapting to society, criminal records and social stigmas are just some of the reasons why some would prefer the confinement of prison. Take Sylvester Giles, who after just 3 days of release from an 8-year prison sentence, begged and pleaded with officers to reacquaint him with his cell because he feared the retaliation of the victim's family. When officers turned him away, Giles decided to climb the 12-foot prison gates, which officially violated his probation period. The judge finally sentenced him to 15 years in prison for trespassing on jail property and for resisting an officer. Who knew anyone could be so comfortable behind bars? Here's another cause for someone to want themselves behind bars: to reach the business market and its clients of the inside. In the UK, an increasing amount of contraband makes its way into local prisons. There are people who will pay a pretty penny for drugs, knives, razors, and even cell phones in the can. While contraband is largely smuggled in by visitors, thanks Grandma, and even crooked cops, some take it so far as to break into prison to reach their loyal customers. But if you're not interested in potentially posing for a mugshot, there are more alternative and subtle ways to find yourself behind bars. Take the San Pedro prison in Bolivia, which, by law, strictly prohibits tourists in the vicinity. But because of a book by Australian author Rusty Young, who describes his unique experiences behind Bolivian bars, tourists are willing to go to great lengths and pay a pretty penny to witness the oddities firsthand. Young reported that the prison had its own economic system, as prisoners were expected to earn a living on the inside to buy their cells and even pay for their children's primary school located in the very same prison. And you thought your childhood was interesting. Because many tourists had to see this prison for themselves, it is well known that you can pay an inmate to take you in as their relative for a tour. In fact, it's no secret when it's on Wikipedia and Lonely Planet. By now, you should have decided if you're willing to risk it all for Uncle Charlie. If you ask us, we wouldn't get too many bright ideas about breaking into a prison. After all, we don't think your mom will show off your mugshot with pride at the next annual family reunion. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos, Brainiacs, and give this video a big thumbs up. If you don't do it for us, at least do it for big ol' Uncle Charlie.